This is Mario Andretti, and you are listening to Below the Yellow Line.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Below the Yellow Line, here part of the Elevation 5280 Sports Network over on e5280.com and the Elevation 5280 Sports Facebook and YouTube pages. Sorry I took the week off last week, a little tied up. What we're going to do now for this show, we're going to have some clips every week from some old interviews, maybe if we don't have a new interview, but coverage-wise, I'm only going to cover the Cup Series. I just feel like that's a little more efficient for me, and that's really what a lot of people want to hear about. So probably about 8 to 10 minutes on each recap and preview, and then a little interview clip for you guys from some past interviews that I've done with this podcast before it was part of this network. So today you're going to be hearing a little bit about Larry McReynolds, or from Larry McReynolds, rather, on his story with Davey Allison during that historic 1992 season. But as you can tell, those results scrolling on your screen are from Texas. So we're going to talk for probably 7-8 minutes about Texas. We'll visit with Larry Mack real quick, and then we will preview the weekend's action at Talladega for the Cup Series. So Chase Elliott, your winner. They're sounding the siren in Dawsonville, Georgia. He breaks a 42 race winless streak. Really good job for Chase there. Yeah, Brad Keselowski in the runner-up spot. Looked like Denny Hamlin was set to win this race. A late caution comes out, and then Hamlin wrecks, battling Elliott for the win. So I'm sure a lot of fans enjoyed seeing Denny Hamlin crash out. Big win for Elliott, though, and 3 top 5s in a row for him. It was, he finished top 5 at Richmond and Martinsville coming in, and I'm saying, okay, maybe they're starting to find something. Maybe this 9 team is picking up the pace now. Maybe they're finally getting their wheels under them again. And while they weren't the best car all day at Texas, they led 39 laps. I mean, they were just good all day. Chaotic race, 16 cautions. That ties the track record, which was set back in 2022. Just chaotic day, and it wasn't tires. It's just a sketchy racetrack. Like Michael McDowell, Hocevar, Jimmy Johnson, all those guys wrecked. Kyle Busch wrecked in practice. Christopher Bell wrecked. Alex Bowman, John Hunter Nemechek had 2 incidents. William Byron dumped Ross Chastain on the last lap. Weird stuff, weird happenings going on there at Texas Motor Speedway. Brad Keselowski in the runner-up spot. He'll be trying to break a long winless streak this weekend at Talladega that dates back to the spring Talladega race in 2021. You have William Byron in 3rd, Tyler Reddick in 4th, Daniel Suarez 5th, Chase Briscoe 6th. Bubba Wallace, good day in 7th. He and Briscoe got a little tangled up. They went for a spin, actually, when they were battling for the lead. I believe late stage 2, early stage 3, may have been early stage 3. They went for a spin. You have Austin Dillon in 8th, Kyle Busch in 9th. Both of those guys ran like sub 25th all day. Kind of a miracle they ended up finishing as well as they did. Kudos to Carson Hocevar. Young kid gets his first career NASCAR Cup Series top 10. Joey Logano had 2 top 10s in a row, 2 top 5s in a row, I believe, at Richmond and Martinsville. Or maybe it was just top 10, but 11th at Texas. That team's finding their groove. Finally, he's tied with Kyle Busch right now for the last playoff spot. Priest 12th, Gibbs 13th, Truex 14th, Buescher 15th, Ty Dillon 16th, Seabell 17th. Not a horrible day, all things considered, considering he was in the wall early in this race. Noah Gragson 18th, Eric Jones 19th, Daniel Hemrick 20th. 21st was Kyle Larson. He was dominant in this race. He was really, really good. And then the wheels fell off. Literally, the wheel fell off. Like lap 111, 112, Fox comes back from commercial, and you see a right rear tire gone from Kyle Larson's car. He battled back, finished 21st, was 2 laps down for a majority of this race in the middle stages, got 1 down, got back on the lead lap. This could never make it back up, but he was on the pole for the third straight week, led 77 laps, looked really good. And just, that wheel ended up costing him this race. You have LaJoie 22nd, Stenhouse 23rd, Haley 24th, Cindric 25th, Zane Smith 26th, Kaz Grala 27th, Harrison Burton 28th, Jimmy Johnson 29th, Denny Hamlin 30th, Todd Gilliland 31st, Ross Chastain 32nd, defending champ Ryan Blaney 33rd. You have John Hunter Nemechek 34th, Michael McDowell 35th, and Josh Berry 36th. He went for a couple of spins. Alex Bowman, 37th, and Austin Hill, 38th. Let's look at the points, and then we'll visit with Larry Mack for a few minutes, and then we will preview Talladega. Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Elliott, Bell, Suarez. Locked in. 6 winners this year through 9 races. Byron's won 3, Hamlin 2. Everybody else has won 1. Truex plus 101. Ty Gibbs plus 63 to that playoff cut line. Blaney plus 61. Reddick plus 52. Bubba Wallace plus 39. Ross Chastain plus 30. Busher plus 12. Alex Bowman plus 11. Chase Briscoe plus 14. Bush and Logano tied right now for that final playoff spot. Keselowski first man out, -1. Jones 19th, -38. His Legacy Motor Club teammate right there. John Hunter Nemechek 20th, -57. Austin Cindric 21st. Hocevar, McDowell, Preece, and Gilliland, your top 25. Barry, Stenhouse, Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoie, Noah Gragson, your top 30. Now, let's hear from Larry McReynolds speaking on Davey Allison and their historic 1992 season. One of the drivers that you got to work with is a driver and a person that I admire very much, and that was Davey Allison. And most people know Davey's story. You and him both native sons of Alabama and son of the legendary Bobby Allison. He grew into a legend in his own right, even in his career that sadly got cut short. But 1992 is one of the best seasons in NASCAR history, one of his greatest seasons behind the wheel and yours on the pit box. But that wasn't an easy year for you guys. I mean, Davey got injured and there was just all sorts of things that happened. You're in the midst of a tight championship battle. Just what was it like working with him overall, and especially that year where he showed, I mean, as much perseverance as I've ever seen a professional athlete show in just one season?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people linked Davey and I together because of both being from the Birmingham, Alabama area. But I never really got to know Davey around Birmingham because about the time he started doing some late model racing around Birmingham in the Southeast, I had already moved on to the Carolinas and become a part of NASCAR. I knew Donnie, his uncle, Bobby's brother. I knew of Bobby, but I really didn't know them that well. But when I joined there in 1991, Robert Yates Racing, that was a career-making move for me. It put Larry McReynolds on the NASCAR map. You know, I didn't join him till race number 5. We won 5 races. We won the All-Star race that year. And I think Davey ended up like 3rd in the points. So we couldn't wait to get 1992 started. And lo and behold, we came out of the block winning the Daytona 500. But yeah, I think, Samuel, if you look at the entire history of NASCAR, you'd be hard-pressed to find a driver and a team that had so many highs and so many lows in one single season. Because we won 5 races, including the Daytona 500. We dominated the All-Star race for the 2nd year in a row. We were leading the points headed into the final race of the year at Atlanta, ended up getting caught up in a wreck and ended up finishing 3rd to Alan Quickie and Bill Elliott. But just the other things that happened that year, you know, we went through a period of time in the spring and early summer where we were winning one week, wrecking one week, winning one week, wrecking one week. And then one week we figured out how to do both in the same night at the All-Star race where we won, but that was the wreck with Kyle Petty at the checkered flag. Davey lost his grandfather in the spring that year. And he and his grandfather, Pop Allison, they were very, very close. Davey busted up some ribs at a wreck in Bristol in the early part of the season. And actually, the next week, we won North Wilkesboro, but Davey barely practiced the car. Jimmy Hensley sat in for us, just trying to give Davey as much healing time as possible. We had to start at the rear of the field because Jimmy qualified the car and went on to win the race. The wreck at Pocono, that was probably the turning point of our season. I know a lot of people say we lost the championship at Atlanta when we got caught up in that wreck, but in my book, we lost it at Pocono in July because after that, Davey had to have surgery. We spent the next 6 to 8 weeks just trying to get him comfortable in the car. It wasn't as much about how we're running or how the car's driving. It's just making him comfortable. So I felt like we lost the championship at Pocono. His brother Clifford was killed in an Xfinity Series accident in Michigan. There has never been, in my book, a driver and a team that went through so much. Again, a lot of highs, a lot of wins, a lot of success, but man, the lowest of lows, including especially losing his grandfather and then his brother being killed at Michigan.
All right. Thank you, Larry Mack, for that. Speaking of Larry Mack, one of the tracks where he probably got his most recent accomplishment atop the pit box. Remember 2022, the spring Dega race for the Xfinity Series? He was crew chiefing that race for Jeffrey Earnhardt and won the pole for that race. They finished second, but see Larry Mack back atop the pit box with an Earnhardt was really special. This race at Talladega, of course, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a race where we don't know who's going to win until they're in the tri-oval. Like, I'm going to pick the winner of this race tonight. I think when you look at it, you just got to look at past super speedway winners, the guys who are always up front at these types of tracks. Blaney, Logano, Hamlin, Keselowski, Bubba. Those are probably your top 5 super speedway racers right now. Byron won Daytona. I mean, a Hendrick car is going to be a threat. Chase Elliott, his last win before Texas was at Dega. He's won there twice. Bowman hasn't won there. Larson has horrible luck on super speedways. But like Hamlin, Logano, Blaney, Wallace, Keselowski, like that's my top 5. They're not going to finish in the top 5. I'd be shocked if 2 of them finished in the top 5. Not because they're bad drivers or anything, just because it's Dega. Like, there's going to be a big wreck. It's just how it is. So this previews can't be heads in depth because we don't know what's going to happen. There could be an upset win, I don't know, where like Todd Gilliland or something. My pick for this race, though, is Ryan Blaney. I trust him the most. He won here in the fall last time we were here. So give me YRB. Give me Ryan Blaney to win this race. Yeah, that's really it, guys. I mean, again, not much we can preview. Dover will be a much better preview, I promise, because, I mean, these drafting track races, they're just tough. They're tough to preview. So that's going to be all for tonight. Thank you guys for watching and listening here to Below the Line, part of the Elevation 5280 Sports Network, Elevation 5280 Sports Facebook page, and Elevation5280sports.com. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel, follow them on Spotify, and give them a follow on Facebook as well. My name is Samuel Stubbs. You can find my YouTube channel at Below the Line for all your NASCAR news, updates, interviews, and information. Have a great day, everybody, and goodbye.